church history. And what those 7 implications, again, with Bible school. Bible school taught us about the 7 dispensations. It taught us about the dispensation of innocence, where Adam was on the earth, or the academic period where there was no sin. There was the dispensation after sin came, the conscience, because Eve ate of the fruit in the midst of the garden. Then after conscience came human government, where man began to organize and begin to get the build together. They began to build the Tower of Babel. Then during that time after that, there was a Noahic covenant. And then after Noahic, there came the Abrahamic covenant, where God made a promise from Adam that there would be a seed born to carry the ball of the sins of man. Amen. And came down, but the 7 churches represent 7 different periods of church history. They talk about all the way down from the apostolic, all the way down to the present church. But the last church, he gave a description. He said, listen, John said, listen, this church was a church of either Thyatira or Laodicea. But the description, he said, was this. He said, for the Lord said, you neither hot nor cold. Yes, and in other words, you have the lovers of this world's goods, and I found that your works have not been right with God. And he said, and for this cause have I spewed you out my mouth. So in other words, how you were once a part of me, but because you are doing things that's not pleasing, and your deeds are not pleasing in my sight, so what have I done? Was I disconnected you apart from me. And God is asking, why don't you have a pulse? Again, the heart. When the heart beats and you go to the doctor, and the doctor takes your blood pressure, he feels, and you can feel your veins, look like you feel your veins beating. No, it's because the heart is pumping the blood throughout the body. Don't you realize if we're connected to God, why is it that the church is full of racism? Hello, somebody. Amen. Somebody will say that's kind of rough, but it's the truth. The church is full of respect the person of racism. Don't you realize? And racism is a form of bigotry and hatred. Yes. When you find that you begin to ostracize and begin to treat people different just because they're not a part of your collective thing. In other words, they got to give you a black and then badmouth you and slander your brother and sister. There's something wrong. Somebody need to go examine something. Y'all might as well say, man. But the problem